Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's Latest, and today I have some news that a lot of people in this country will be very excited about, and that is the fact that FanDuel Sports is kind of on the back end of kind of just dissolving as a company as a whole. So we've kind of seen how we went from Sunshine, Florida, can't, or Fox Sports Florida, Fox Sports Sunshine, all those different kind of names that we were working under for the longest time had local television. We were on Fox Sports Southeast, Fox Sports Florida, Fox Sports all the time. Came with your cable provider. It was free. Didn't have to worry about anything. And then you kind of got your TV deal switched over to Bali, and then that was still free for the most part with your cable provider and things of that nature, so that people could watch the games. But then Bali went bankrupt very quickly. I think within 2 years of that deal becoming a thing, they went bankrupt. And then you see FanDuel Sports kind of buy up all the Bali contracts and the teams and things of that nature, and you have to pay for it now. So paying for it's a separate subscription. You have to have a separate app. It's not on cable providers anymore. You have to have the FanDuel Sports app to watch it. It's like $15 a month just to watch the Rays play, or to watch the Braves play, or to watch the Magic, or to watch the Panthers, the Heat. I mean, to watch any team, you have to pay $15-$20 a month just to be able to watch it. And so DAZN is trying to have a deal to acquire Main Street Sports Group, who is the owner of FanDuel Sports Network. And if that falls apart in January, the Rays could regain control of their local TV rights, which would be branded back towards the Fox Sports Southeast, and the Rays can kind of do as they want with their local market. And so that's a huge get for all people in the area, just solely based on you can watch the Tampa Bay Rays play for free. And I think it's a fantastic move if that does end up happening, where the deal kind of falls apart and FanDuel Sports Network doesn't carry the teams anymore. And so I think it's great for the fans. It's great for fans of the Rays, fans of baseball in general. Panthers, Heat, Magic, all those teams kind of still fall under that FanDuel umbrella. And if that deal falls apart in January, those teams are going to have their own rights back to their local TV markets, which I think is huge. And just being originally from Florida, being able to just tune to channel 396 and have the Tampa Bay Rays on whenever I want is fantastic. I loved it. It was great. And I think that just from a pure fan perspective and from a TV market perspective, I think it's gonna be massive for a financial perspective, and just from a marketing and a fan perspective. I think it's gonna be great. A lot more eyes will be on the Rays, and I don't think there's really anything you can like complain about if that happens. I think it's going to be great for all parties other than FanDuel Sports Network and DAZN, obviously. So I think from a fan perspective in particular, it's going to be great. And I'm kind of looking forward to hoping that does happen. But the main thing I kind of want to talk about today as well is, I know with the loss of Brandon Lau, we've kind of been talking about who's going to play second base. And we've kind of been leaning towards Brandon Donovan, Ketel Marte, really being the guys that you kind of want to go out there and get. But from a front office perspective, I don't necessarily know kind of where their heads at with the prospects that they had just gotten. And I don't necessarily think that a rebuild is in order, kind of trying to build up our prospect pool. And I know that our minor league system has been the worst that it's been in the past 10 or 15 years. And we still have great players in our farm system, obviously, but just from a pure load standpoint of how many top prospects we have, it's at a very low compared to what it usually is. And so I'm not necessarily sure if the front office is trying to keep those prospects in from all these trades, because we got 6 prospects in the last week, and they're all top 30 prospects from other organizations. So it's kind of, you see, you're building up your prospect pool, you're building up your farm system ranking, and I don't necessarily know if Neander is trying to use all those prospects as just build pieces into getting more players from trades, or if he's looking at it as more of a I'm trying to build up our farm system to try to home grow these players, get them up through the minor league system and on the major league roster. So if that's the case, I think that our second base option would either be Carson Williams or Richie Palacios. And Richie Palacios, he can play all over. And in 2024, he played right, played left, DH'd, played third, played short, and played second. And he played the majority of the games in the outfield. He played 51 in the outfield, but he played 37 at second base. And he committed 0 errors, had 83 chances, or no, sorry, he had that was for the outfield. On the infield, he had 137 chances, made 5 errors with a 964 fielding percentage, which is not bad by any means. And he he's not necessarily going to jump out at you from a batting perspective. I mean, in 2024, he had a 1.8 WAR. He hit 223 with 5 homers and 21 RBIs and 316 plate appearances. But he also only struck out 60 times and he walked 45 times. So the strike number is a little higher than the walk rate, which is going to be kind of normal from what you see. And he stole 20 bags. So from a speed perspective, he's there. From a hitting for average and a power perspective, it's not necessarily kind of what we want. And I think Brendan Donovan and I could tell Marte will be a lot more productive at the plate. But I think just from a serviceable perspective and kind of just a utility perspective to where he can play wherever, it's not a bad option for the Rays. And I think that if he can kind of get that batting average up to around 250 and get towards the 10 home run range, I think he'll be more than serviceable at second base. And especially just being able to be serviceable as a defender is kind of what you want. Because compared to Brandon Lau, you can't get much worse from a defensive perspective, I would say. And I think that just is solely based on Lau wasn't the most athletic person in the bunch. And he's very athletic. He's a professional baseball player, obviously. But just from he's not Taylor Walls, obviously. I don't think nobody in baseball is really Taylor Walls from a defensive standpoint. But I think that just being able to get a serviceable second baseman to kind of fill that void into getting somebody else further down the line could be a possibility. And I think that Neander and company might kind of lead towards that. But we'll kind of see kind of where they go with that. And I don't necessarily think that it's going to be kind of just it has to be done in the next week. But I do think that if we are going to want a trade for Marte or Donovan, it's going to have to be done fairly soon. Because I think if it gets into January, I think we're going to be looking towards the Diamondbacks and be like, all right, we'll just hold on to him at this point. So we'll kind of see where that goes. You guys let me know what you guys think about Palacios, and especially let me know what you guys think about the TV deal, because I think that would be fantastic for Rays and the Rays fans. But let me know what you guys think, and you guys have a great day.